Well, I'm hot, sweaty, and about to shower, so I'm about as naked as I can be for this. Just in case anyone was wondering and needed a really awful mental image, that's what's going on. I'm doing a naked vlog at the end of a Monday, which means I go to work tonight. And I'm absolutely disgusting on a hot California day. I'm filming this on June 30th. I got my first check from Google. So yeah, I'm in a really good mood despite being rather needing of a shower. But our topic today is going to be the friend zone. Ironically, you would think I'd know a lot more about the friend zone, but unfortunately I don't believe I've ever been there. Wanted to be there on a few occasions, but never actually been there. But some people said, does the friend zone exist? Now, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so if you're going to ask somebody, I guess I'd be the best person to ask. And according to the personal construct theory proposed by George Kelly, it is indeed possible for a woman, primarily women, or though possibly men, to see a friend as a polar opposite from a significant other or a sexual partner. So from a standpoint of science, yes, the friend zone certainly does exist. Now, another question would be, so how do you get out of the friend zone? Again, no experience. My personal suggestion would be, if she's not into you, bro, go find someone else. I know you think this is a big thing because you're obsessed with this girl, but you know, you're going to get into a relationship sooner or later, and then you're going to meet some chick at a party while you're in a relationship, be like, gee, you know, if I weren't in a relationship, I might go out with this chick. Or you can be a douchebag who is obsessed with whatever chick you're obsessed with, and you're in a relationship, you meet someone else, and you dump the chick you have, or you cheat on her, or you do something like that. Remember, this person is your friend. You have strong feelings for them. You don't necessarily need to gratify those with sex, or dating, or whatever you really feel a relationship is. Now, as for wanting to be in the friend zone, I suppose probably the best example I have of that is back when cloning was kind of controversial in the news. Remember, I was in a car with a bunch of D&D players, and we brought up cloning, and I said, anyone who doesn't believe in cloning obviously has never met Nicole. Nicole was one of our Dungeons & Dragons buddies. I am not that big of a geek. I haven't played Dungeons & Dragons in maybe 8 years. Not dead sure. Haven't been keeping tabs. In any case, here was the thing. Nicole was a beautiful woman, probably still is, haven't spoken to her in a while, but she was also engaged to be married to somebody else. So I was rather lamenting, rather than complimenting, that someone had gotten to her first, and I was very happy for him. And we all had a good laugh, and then Nicole heard this. I believe it was the next night. Really changed her attitude toward me. She engaged in a behavior that we refer to, or at least some people in the psychology world refer to as thrusting, which sounds like sex, but it's not sex. In fact, it comes from an even dirtier statement, rectal thrusting, which is something that a primate does to signify to another primate that they're sexually ready. In human beings, and how I'm using it, thrusting in this context essentially means to move the body in such a way to either communicate sexual readiness or make oneself appear more attractive to a prospective mate. What she would particularly do is she would bend forward and show me her cleavage, which a lot of people do that. So, I mean, maybe I was mistaken. I don't feel so. She kind of locked eyes with me, so it seems like it was rather legitimate. And I remember on one occasion she lay down next to me and would brush against me, and all of this rather confused me because this person was supposed to be my friend and she was engaged, and it's not worth messing with that to me. Because one thing is, I would never have wanted to let this girl go. Really, if I had ever got my hands on her, I would have said, no, I want to spend the rest of my life with this wonderful person. I would not have been like, yes, I'd like to hit you a couple times and then pass you on. And then, that sounds totally wrong, doesn't it? Yes, I would never want to have a one night or perhaps casual affair with somebody who is in a relationship. Not my thing. Perfectly cool with the idea of you're into somebody, but you're not that into somebody, and you want to keep yourself busy. I mean, that's fine, so long as you're not hurting anybody else, so long as there's a atmosphere of honesty. But then also, let's just say she broke off her engagement and she decided to be with me instead. Is that the girl you want to spend the rest of your life with? Engaged to be married, so it ain't finalized. And, supposedly happy. Now, I'm also going to make a statement. A lot of times in my life, women have had that, oh yeah moment when they realize they're not on the market. Which again, I'm not that attractive. This mostly happened when I was younger, and I wasn't quite so fat then, but I was still fat, so still confused. But one of the things about the human mind that we have to remember, and that you should always remember in dating, is where you do your best thinking is here in the prefrontal cortex, and the urge to mate is a lot further down. In fact, you may actually do some thinking below the neckline. Interesting fact for you, the human heart. The human heart is actually more nerve tissue than it is muscle. You really do feel with your heart. All those weird science fiction shows where it's like a brain in a jar, nah. That brain in the jar can't get angry, it can't really want, it can't get excited, because all of these things are based on feedback cues from your heart, which is full of neurons. And I said that really weird, didn't I? So, there's my thing. To sum things up, friend zone does exist. If you're in it, find some chick who's actually into you. I mean, don't go obsessing over some woman you can't have. It just makes you miserable. Well, okay. This is my first naked video without Fred the Facehugger. And I stepped on an old receipt. And next time, if all goes well, Fred will not feel upset about being left out of this and will come back as soon as I find him. I've kind of misplaced him because I've spent the entire day cleaning. And yeah. So, I'm Richard Neal, this is Random Street Theater, and I'm naked and sweaty, so I'm going to go shower.